Welcome back to Black Ice Reality Check. We have a new series called Hot Vegas Nights. And with that, we're going to be bringing guests on the show that live in the Las Vegas area or that travel. Usually women, for the most part, 99% of the time. So I have a guest here today that I had met a couple years ago at one of the gyms, and we started talking about football. I think different areas. She lives in a competitive area where the college I went, my go-to play in college is at. So she's a rival. But I'm gonna introduce. She stands 5 feet 2 inches tall, about 120 pounds. She used to compete in bikini, NPC bikini, fitness girl, very successful. She's right in that age range, guys. I mean, she's perfect. She's 28 years old. I want to introduce you to Harley, aka HT's in the house. Why don't you have a seat? Right on. There you go. You can put that mic up there. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Wow, that was a quick planning event, right? I think I reached out to you about a week and a half ago, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, good deal. So you're in Vegas. I met you at one of the gyms. I won't say the name. I'm not getting paid for sponsorship here, right?
No.
But I think I just moved here with my girlfriend at the time, and we were both training, and you were in the gym, and I asked you why you're not competing anymore.
Like numerous times you kept asking.
Yeah, like
why aren't you competing?
Well, yeah, because everybody in that gym competes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then you have the shape, you did compete.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why aren't you competing? So what was your answer?
It was mostly just because my hormones, they're all whack. And I was like, I'm just not really interested.
Oh, yeah, because you get on performance supplements and then you lose all the body fat and get cut, and then you got to come back. And yeah, so now, tell the viewers your background. You're 28 years old. Mm-hmm. You're single?
Single, yeah.
Wow, okay. We're going to have to talk about that.
Oh, we can get into that.
Why is she single? No, just kidding. And you're in the auto industry, right? You're a sales representative or finance?
Yep. I sell cars.
Okay, you sell cars. So you make over 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
So you're very successful.
Yeah.
And you came from where are you from?
Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio, to be exact. I know. You're cringing.
So are you a Ohio State fan?
I'm a nothing fan, to be honest.
Okay.
So I feel like
I think you're saying that because we beat you. Michigan, go blue.
Is Michigan like I don't even know where that is.
Wow. Wow. Ann Arbor, I know there's nothing up there. It's just cold.
Actually, I had a flight and I got rerouted into Michigan, and I was like, where do I go?
No, you don't go anywhere in Detroit. You stay there.
No. My mom's like, walk to a hotel. We'll get you. I'm like, yeah.
You don't even walk.
Oh, no. I was terrified.
Wow. So you're 20 years. You said when you moved here, you were in a relationship. So I'm going to ask you some good questions.
Yeah.
You had responded to a podcast that I was on with, what's her name?
Christina,
right? Fearless as fuck, right?
Yeah.
That's her show. And it was a civil debate, wouldn't you say? You thought it was heated.
I thought bits were heated, but for the most part, yeah.
Okay. And you said you looked at it from a different perspective. What part of that did you look at?
So when I was listening to her, because I've gone through some fairly similar things, I'd assume. And as I'm listening, I'm like, oh, you go, girl. And then there's just parts where you were going and talking, and I was like, I guess I never really saw it that way. And to think about it, it did open my eyes a little bit, because I do work with all guys, but I hear the great things. I don't hear about whatever type of background stuff. And like, really,
you know why?
What are car sales going to do?
They're not going to tell you because they don't want an HR violation.
Probably that too.
Right? Because I know what they're thinking when you walk by. They're like, hey, how's it going, Harley? How many cars you sold? Right?
Yeah.
Right. So do you ever, I'm going to ask you, do you ever have guys that you work with try to ask you out?
Oh, 100%.
But you don't date where, I tell people, you don't eat where you shit.
No. And I make that very clear.
Or shit where you eat. You don't shit where you eat.
I guess it could be both.
Yeah.
I make it very clear, like, I'm here for a reason. And I think because I grew up with 2 brothers, I'm very good at having my own back. So I make it clear. Like,
so what if you leave a dealership, go to another, and the guy at the other dealership wants to date you? Will you date him?
If I was interested, I guess. But
okay.
It's not. I feel like I friend zone him right from the start. So I'm like, yeah, no.
Why do you feel you friend zone him right away?
I'm there to make money.
But if it's the right guy, wouldn't you still talk to him?
No, I'm there to make money.
Okay.
And if I'm making more money than you.
Wow. Did you hear that? Okay.
Okay. I know.
No. See? But that's true. It's called hypergamy. That means that you date at your socioeconomic level or above, right?
Mm-hmm.
Women do that by nature. It's a biological thing that's wired in them to go out to find the biggest, strongest, fastest, most successful, good-looking guy and have offspring with, right?
For sure.
So you came to Vegas. You were in a relationship, no longer in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Have you dated since you got out of that relationship?
Yeah, for sure. So I will say, so kind of going back on your comment there, the guy that I moved out here with, I made the money. He didn't even do anything. We were here for his boxing. So
you supported him.
I supported him.
She was the sugar mama.
Yeah.
How did that work out?
Well, I think that I kind of lucked out there because I didn't have to scramble for finances. Like I was already making money.
Right.
I was already like pretty much set. So I think it worked
But
out.
did you lose? Did it have an effect on you where you lost a little bit of respect for him as a man because he wasn't making money?
100%. If I come home after working all day and you're sitting there playing video games and you're like, "What's for dinner?"
Wow. Huh? Okay. So you kind of learned from that.
Oh yeah.
So the guys you dated since then, did you adjust that? Did you obviously don't ask a guy right away how much money he makes, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Right? Because then they're like, dang, really? Is that, and that noise behind us is a different building, so please ignore that. PT building. So you dated a couple, how many, and if you don't mind me asking, how many guys have you dated since you broke up or got out of the relationship?
So I dated one serious, and then like I've gone on dates here and there, but just nothing since. So actually, beginning in January will be 2 years exact that I've been by myself.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think that is? Is it by choice or design or?
I think a little bit of both. I would say, first off, with my job now, I mean, kind of tough.
Bell to bell.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then my days off are, like I was telling you, actually, it's Sunday, but here and there I'll get Wednesdays off. But for the most part, if a customer calls me, like I was mid-nail appointment and this customer's like, "Hey, we'll be there at 5. I'm like, I told my nail lady, "You got to chop. Like you got 15 minutes. I got to get back to Henderson." Yeah.
Okay. So you live in Las Vegas. I won't say where, cause that's privacy, right? But guys, feel free if you're, I don't want to, you're not on here for sale, but if you're interested, you can DM her. Just put Black Ice Show because she's gonna. Where's this dude coming from, right? Because they got your IG, right?
Yeah.
She's available. So when I talk to you, I'm thinking, okay, you're in the prime age because the prime age is 24 to 26. After 26, you start getting to that point where you're getting close to the danger zone, which is hitting the wall at 30. And I say that with all due respect because women in their prime, you're never, as a woman, you're never as good looking as you were when you were 24. You're right. You start getting older. Now, I'm not saying you're not good looking. You're attractive, right? But I guess, what is your plan? Do you want to have kids and be married one day?
100%. Yeah.
When do you want? Do you have like in your mind what you're looking for? Like, because the reason I asked you that is most of the gals I talk to don't have a game plan. They just kind of like, well, if it happens. So you're 28.
Yeah.
You're 28. No, you're 28.
I know I'm 28.
And you get, when you hit 30, I coined phrase this term. Women hit what I call an epiphany phase. It's where, and it's common across the board. And you can ask girlfriends that hit this. They might not admit to it, but I see it. I'm seeing it now. I see it with the exes I've dated. When they hit 30, all of a sudden they get in this mindset where I'm depressed. I'm 30 years old. I don't have kids. I'm not married. What am I going to do in my career? And they start going down this rabbit hole, this dark rabbit hole, and they go through this depression phase because they feel they're old. 30 is not old. Now, in terms of the sexual marketplace value for a woman, you're now dropping your value.
Yeah.
And because women are judged based on looks. It is what it is, right? Men like, we're cavemen. She's attractive. So for me to you, what is your ideal time frame to be married? And then B, when do you want to have kids?
So I would say whenever I was younger, I had a whole different mindset. First off, I never thought that I'd be selling cars. Ever.
Right.
And I thought like by 25, I'll be married, have kids, maybe be pregnant by that time. Who knows? And I was like, I'll be great. And in my head, I thought that I was set up perfectly for that. And then
from the Midwest, I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
It's way different than
different
out here.
Mindset. I think family's a priority out there.
And too, like my role models my parents are still together.
See?
They never argued in front of us. Like,
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. That right there, guys, is a key indicator, and to some modern women as well. You come from a nuclear family. It's still together.
mm-hmm.
And can I ask you what what does your mom and dad do, or did they do when you were a kid?
So they actually still do the same thing. So my dad is a mechanic. He used to work in a shop. Now he works from home. And my mom works at a high school. She's a study hall monitor.
Okay. And you were raised by a good family.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, great.
And your mom probably mentored you. Did she raise you to be an independent woman, or did she raise you to be a good wife?
Ooh, I'd say.
Do you know how to cook?
Oh yeah, I know how to cook, clean.
But wait, do you hear that? Oh yeah, like of course. But yes, a girl out in the city.
But not a lot of people do.
Because your mom raised you properly.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give your mom respect for that.
Oh yeah, she's the woman.
And that's why I tell people this. I don't know where you're from in Ohio. You're from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a bigger city. But were you in the suburbs?
Yeah, so I was right on the lake actually.
Okay. And I don't call Cleveland small, but when I was telling this last podcast, I was talking with Sean and a gentleman that was on here, and I said, I encourage men not to go to big cities. And the reason being is that a lot of the gals that are there, they're in this fast-paced environment, right? Go make your money, baby. Don't rely on a man. Be independent. Be a boss bitch. A cookbook. I'm going through McDonald's, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, you know how to cook. You know how to bake.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. I think that.
Do you know how to bake, though?
I do know how to bake, yeah.
So you cook and bake?
Yeah, I cook.
You're
bake.
single, 28 years old, fit, feminine, and attractive. Okay, so my red flags are going up here. What's wrong with this woman? I mean, you're a dream for a lot of guys. You're picky. Okay, let's talk about that.
Because I've had so many wrongdoings done to me that now I'm very selective with my time. I don't have a lot of time.
You don't have a lot of time.
So the small time that I have, I'm very selective. Like, I'll be quick to cut it off. Quick. If there's something that I'm like, okay, that doesn't serve me.
Okay, let's talk about your ideal man.
Okay.
How tall?
Doesn't matter.
How much money?
I'd say
don't be shy.
The same, maybe a little bit more than me. But you got to be on the same type of level as I am, because I don't come from a very wealthy family. So the fact that I've done as much as I've done by myself says a lot. And if somebody's like, well, that's good that you make money.
You came from a lower middle class family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like myself, right? We had to hustle. We had to figure it out.
Yeah.
We got thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, a little bit. And then I got out here and I was like, oh God, now what?
Now, did you go to college?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so you have a bachelor's degree?
Yeah, bachelor degree in arts, and then I have a minor in communications.
Okay.
So I know how to talk.
You know how to talk. Bullshit. So your ideal family, how many kids do you want to have one day?
I'd say 2 or 3.
Okay, 2 or 3?
Yeah. Let's see how the first 2 go.
Okay, so 2 kids.
Yeah.
Want to be married.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how much of the bills do you want to contribute to, or do you want to be a stay-at-home mom?
I don't think I want to be a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
I think I go crazy.
It's tough.
Yeah.
No, but it's tough. So you're going to work too.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to raise your kids? Daycare?
My mom.
What? She's supposed to be grandma.
Yeah, retire.
Wait, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have actually 2. One's my half brother and one's my brother.
Does he have kids?
My half brother does. My brother does not.
Okay, so she's got to be split between the 2.
Yeah.
So you're going to move her out here? You're going to live in Vegas when you get married?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to stay out here, only because it's just not
conducive.
The weather's nice, the money's nice, but I mean, I miss home. Home's everything.
Okay, so here's where we get into this. So are you going to stay in the auto industry when you're married? Because you're working bell to bell.
Oh, I can't.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
So you put family first before your career.
For sure.
Okay, so far, chicken, winter dinner, right? We got one, right? Winter, chicken dinner. Okay. So do you feel like you're a traditional woman?
I'd say yeah.
Okay. So based on your Instagram, I would say yes. I'd say based on your morals and values, I'd say yes. So I would say people out there that are listening and watching this podcast, I would consider Harley a high-valued woman. And I'll say it a lot because she has the values. She's caring. She's understanding. Put your husband first.
Yeah.
She wants the person to be successful like herself. She does want to work outside the home. So that means you're both going to contribute. How much do you want to contribute to the bills? 10, 20, 80, 50%?
I'll do 50. Yeah.
So you both have to help in the house too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not finding any flaws here. So why are you single? What have you been running into?
I'd say I'm picky as
What's that
far
mean?
as, I don't know. It's just like if one little thing bugs me, and I'm not saying like, oh, they ate too much food or they breathe heavy. Like it has to be something that I'm like, okay, that doesn't serve me.
Like
So-
what? Give me an example. Like,
So I was seeing this guy.
don't say his name.
I'm not going to say his name. He'll definitely know, but I would say things were great in my opinion. Like we had a lot of fun, unique things that we do, but the thing that I was like, nope, done, is I'm working a hard day. So it was a Saturday night. We had plans and we were going to go, I think we were just going to have like a relaxed night because we did all these other things on like days that off. But I think one night I'm working. So we're like, let's just do a movie. Let's do takeout, wine, and let's just hang out.
Right.
He texts me at like, I work until about 8. He texts me at like 6. I just sold a car. So that we know that process is going to take a minute.
Oh, you're there till
I'm there.
9:30.
Yeah.
It's like
We're there
it's
late.
no fast process. F&I wants to sell you, extra warranties, tires, and all
Then I
this.
got somebody to go through your
Clear
car
coat.
with you.
Yeah.
We got a while. So he texted me maybe like 6 o'clock and was like, hey, I know that we had plans, but maybe would you want to, I have backstage tickets to somebody at a club tonight. Do you want to go? And I was like, honestly, like, I don't even know what time I'm going to get out of here. He's like, just run home, see your dog real quick, get ready, and then like, let's go.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Yeah. See, I'm going to stop you. He's young.
he is younger. Yeah.
He's younger.
He was younger
Okay,
than me,
that's the mistake.
Yeah.
Nothing against young men, but I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But it's a female.
Right. But I like to chill. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do jack shit. Guys don't want to do nothing. The only reason we do stuff is get like, hey, we'll go to the park. Yeah, sure. Oh, I just want to watch football. Leave me alone. Popcorn shrimp, right? So he wanted to go out.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, I'm tired. Like, I don't even know what time I'm going to get out of here. I said, well, you should go. He was like, okay, I'm going to go. I said, so that for me, I was like, I'm good. I don't want any of that.
You let him hang himself. So now that you're 28, single, fit, attractive, feminine, you got all the qualities of a high value woman. You're a traditional woman. You know how to cook. You can bake.
Mm-hmm.
You make good money. And I think the challenge that you're having is the categorizing of the type of men you're looking at. See, a lot of young women do this. They'll go for the looks. Now, I'm not saying looks aren't important, but these young guys that are hot, fit, carved abs, tattoos. I don't want to call them fuckboys, but just call them what they are.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's go out to the club, right? You're not getting anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not done. They're not done doing their thing.
And he made very good money.
Right.
Probably about 3-4 times what I make. But
Wow.
It makes a lot of money. But the thing is if that's your priority after you know that I just worked all week, like, I'm good.
And how many hours a week you working? 80? 60?
Probably 60, 65, I'd say.
And you're making 6 figures. And even and here's the thing. This is what the quality people, if you're listening to this, I had a conversation with you out in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing 6 figures in a freaking recession with auto sales. This is a powerful, successful gal that's willing to be on the same page. Now, will you submit to the man's goals and dreams?
Yeah, like if you want to move or do something, sure, I can adapt. That's the thing, is that I'm very adaptable. And I was just telling actually my general manager the other day, because we got into a conversation, and I was saying that, 2 years ago, I had $18 in my bank account. And now I drive a very nice car. I do a lot of nice things. I'm very adaptable, obviously. I moved out here, moved way far away from my family. And
From Ohio.
Yeah, way.
I won't say it again.
And that itself was big for me. Like, I bought a house right before I moved. Like, I adapted, though.
Did you sell your house in Ohio?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So, but you plan on one day going back to Ohio. So you want to be...
Maybe.
Are you from is it like a suburban area or small area? What kind of area is it?
I'd say, I grew up, I always tell people, because they're like, oh, there's cows and stuff in Ohio. I'm like, maybe some parts, but I grew up on the lake in a city.
Okay.
So that's
so
how
you are
yeah.
kind of a city girl.
Yeah, I'd say now if you want to go like downtown city, yeah, you got like a 20-minute drive, but it's still not that far.
Right. And you got your parents at home. Okay. So now moving forward, you have this checklist in your mind, what you're looking for in a man.
I'd say checklist, but I am flexible for sure.
And are you getting approached by guys all the time? I'm not talking about the guys at work. Mm-hmm. We already know that you drew the line. The guys at the gym, you don't date anybody from the gym, do you?
I have.
How'd that turn out? Not good.
Terrible.
Right. Because you're eating, you're shitting where you eat, right?
Yeah.
And I tell people that if something happens, you got to see that person at the gym. Is that person still go to the gym?
Yeah.
I probably know who he is, don't I? Yeah. I know who he is. I think I know who it is. I won't say it. It's
you do.
Okay.
But we actually get along really well. I would say we get better along as friends than on that level, just because if you're thinking of who I'm thinking of, I think that he's good, just not good for me.
He's a bad boy. I know exactly what it is. But see, why would you choose that?
I don't know.
See, okay, this is where women go after. This is what I'm going to tell you to do. This is my recommendation. I had to do this as a guy. I was out of control. Guys don't think here.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, boobs, boobs, butt, right? Lips. That's all we do. We're animals. We're full of testosterone. We eat, poop, have sex, and watch football. And when you're talking to us, we're like, hold on, fourth down. What? Right? What bill, right? You have to put a list together. It's called a mandatory checklist and a secondary checklist. I did that when I was single because I was off the farm, out of control. And guys are like, dude, what are you doing? Dude, she's hot. It's all my mind took over. My visual perception took over.
I don't think your mind took over.
My penis took over.
Yeah.
And I said, wait a minute. And here's what happened. I would have sex with the girl, and then it would be, I'm not interested in her. Because there was no connection. And guys, I tell men this, if you want to get in a relationship, you have to have some type of friendship, emotional connection before you get intimate. Because if you hit it too soon, you lose that, she's really annoying. I don't like her voice. You didn't hear her voice before. All you saw was her ass.
Yeah.
And so I wrote this list together, and it was mandatory requirements. Must be X height between here and here. Must be this age range. Has to do sexual. Has to do this. I made this list. Secondary requirements was she has to like football. But if she doesn't, it's not a deal breaker. If you put this list together and put it on the back of your closet door in your bedroom where nobody sees it except Harley, every time you meet a guy, you go to that checklist. Now, the hard part about the checklist is it's going to keep you accountable. I really like this guy. He's really cute. He's kind of hot. It's like, Harley, go to your list. You're like, damn.
Yeah.
Where's your values? Where's your ethics? Where's your morals, right? You're a traditional woman, but you might want to have a lifestyle where you have more fun until you meet the right guy. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so for me, I put that list together because it held me accountable. And when I forgot about the list. And then I start talking to this one over here who's in the studio, right? What's her name? No, I'm just kidding. Puma. And it was like, wait a minute. She doesn't meet the height requirement that I was looking for.
You really went off a height?
I did. I went off everything. Age, she was too young. I'm like, dude, this girl's young. I've been down this road before. It's drama, right? I put a list together. I had to make a couple of exceptions. So I said 2 to 3 things can come off the list, right? And I have kids. So I wanted the girl to either have had kids. So it wasn't like, wait, those are your kids. I don't know how to adapt to your kids.
Yeah.
So she didn't have kids. She didn't meet the height requirement, and she wasn't tall enough at the time. But she puts heels on. She's tall. She's over there looking at me, giving me the look of death. I think you're an inch taller than her. And you don't even make the cut. No, I'm just kidding.
That's why I wear heels.
Right? And so if you put this list together, because you're so busy, and let's talk about your dog. That's your baby.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Boy or girl?
It's a girl.
And she is the biggest mastiff. Dude, I don't know if you can do it. Well, first of all, let me do this.
She's on there for sure.
Trey, can you show a video of Harley working out? Look at this video, guys. You got abs still?
I do, yeah. Actually, I look better than that.
So, what was this video?
2021 maybe?
So you're definitely in shape.
Yeah, I would say I'm more in shape now than I was there, to be honest.
And where's your dog? Is there a reel of her dog?
Oh, yeah.
You were holding your dog. How much does your dog weigh?
She's actually kind of small. It should be up.
Right there.
Oh, yeah. She's like 100, maybe just crossed over 100 pounds.
Wait, watch when you turn here. Oh my God. That's like, look at that big thing.
She was still a puppy there.
Wow. So that's your baby.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So does she like get excited when you walk in the front door?
Yeah, actually she does the cutest thing in the world. She'll bring me a toy every time. And so I walk in through the garage and there's my living room where she is. She'll go to her little toy bin and she has like a lot of toys. Grab a toy, bring it to me, take it to the back door and then drop it at my feet, go outside.
Wow.
Like, so there is every day I have to bring toys back to her bin because I'm a clean freak. So I'm like,
oh, okay. OCD. Here we
yeah.
go. So have you lived with any men after your breakup?
No, I was seeing somebody and he watched my dog and then like hung out and
I got it.
Yeah. And I was just, no, I think that I talk too much during the day and I get home and then like for somebody to be standing there.
Wait a minute. You're telling me when you get home, you don't talk at all?
I need some decompress time.
Guys,
for sure.
Guys, this is the man's dream. Are you kidding me? Do you know men don't want to talk?
But
he wanted to talk.
He wanted to talk. He's a talker. Which is great. I'm all about let's talk, but like give me some time. Like it's like, how was your day? Like,
so you don't like a lot of questions.
Yeah, just let me breathe for a second. Like I have people down my throat from the moment that I walk into the dealership to the moment I leave. I have customers calling me on days off, texting me like, I know it's your day off, but, and then they'll continue to text. I'm like,
so do you have repeat customers out here?
Yeah, I do. Surprisingly.
So you think when the economy turns around, you'll have what's your best year in cars, revenue wise?
This will be my second year completed. So my first year I did about 130.
Okay. And this year's a little slower, but around the same.
But I also switched dealerships too, which just kind of took a hit just because your income, it takes a minute to get it back up. So
why'd you leave?
It's just the opportunity came up.
Okay.
I mean, I was very comfortable where I was at. Like every day I knew everybody, customers knew me, they knew my days that I worked. So it was just very, very comfortable.
So here's my question. If you meet the right guy and you know you have to leave the auto industry for a successful relationship, is that fair?
Yeah.
Because why? There's no time, right?
Yeah, I don't have any time.
So what are you going to do? See, so you're 28 years old. The wall's coming.
Yeah.
You're going to hit it in a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is what I'm going to tell you, and watch it. Here comes the epiphany. The light's going to come on. How much money does he have to make to support you until you find your way? Or if you don't find your way, because you're going to take a pay cut to recreate yourself to get your time back.
Yeah. I think it's more of a mental thing, but I can overcome that as far as like, if I know that I'm going to struggle for a little bit, like I know going from my last dealership to this dealership, I knew that there was going to be a little bit of a hardship, but I don't know. I guess you would have to make whatever's good for our life, I'd say. Because right now, and it's so hard for me to relate because I've never been taken care of in that aspect. Like I usually just kind of take care of everything. And it's not because I'm a boss ass bitch and I want to take care of this and I'm going to show you. It's like, that's what I've had to do in order to survive out here.
So what was it about the show that I did with Christina? What was it you were looking at it from a different perspective?
I'd say because you made me think too. Like you asked her, I think the same question, like, what's your ideal man? And I'm like sitting there like, I don't even know. I have no idea. I just want somebody to be nice to me. Nice to you?
Well, they're going to be nice to you until they get what they want, right? Yeah. All guys, oh yeah, I love it. I don't like her jacket. No, I love the jacket. Oh, it's nice. I hate her hair, but I'll just tell her I like it, right?
Yeah.
So that was it?
With that debate, and then two, whenever you brought up the whole point of like whenever they're successful men, you know, and you want the successful man, don't expect him to always be what was the word?
Monogamous.
Yeah.
And when I talk about that, I just talked about it today at home with a group of people. I talked about it here, and it's funny because I told you this. I'm telling you what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, so when people say I don't agree with him, it's not my information. I'm translating the data, and the guys are like, don't tell him. You know, you go to me and my girlfriend have been into gentlemen's clubs in Vegas. All the customers in there got rings on. I guarantee you 90% of those guys don't tell their wives what they're doing.
Oh, probably not. Yeah.
And the same girls that say they don't like what I'm saying are the dancers sitting on the dude's laps as they're married. They're like, oh, I don't agree with him. You're sitting on a married guy's lap. What are you talking about? Because that's their primary customer, because they're high. Not all of them are high valued, right? So here's my question for you. You have two choices. Okay, I'm going to do this little question Q&A. You marry an average guy that makes or you're dating an average guy that makes $51,000 a year. I think is the average income. Or a guy that sees you occasionally that gives you $20,000 a month.
Just gives it to me?
Yeah, sugar daddy.
No.
So who would you take?
I'd take the guy making $54,000.
Okay, you take the guy that makes $54,000 now. Would you date an average guy?
Yeah, I've dated an average guy.
But now you're telling me, now we're going back to what we're talking about.
Okay.
You wanted a guy at your level and above.
Yeah, now, because I've dated that.
So I'm talking about now.
Okay.
A guy comes along and says, look, I'm really busy. I travel the world. You're busy. I want to see you exclusively, just me and you. I'm going to give you $20,000 a month. That's a sugar daddy.
Yeah, I don't want that though.
What do you want?
Like, I'll make my money then by that point.
Okay, so you won't date average. So you have three choices now. My next question. A cheater, an average guy, or be alone?
I'd rather be alone.
Okay, so this is where the thinking comes in. This is where the adjustment comes, right? Like I talked about high value. Not all high value men will cheat, but I'm saying they have accessibility. They have a plethora of accessibility to women, right? Mm-hmm. So for you have to figure it out here shortly because you're coming up. You want to have a family.
Yeah.
So how do you put yourself out there as an available woman? And I told you, put the list together and make sure you have your mandatory and secondary requirements. Because if you don't, you're going to be doing the same thing you did with that guy a year from now. And you're going to be 29. When's your 29th birthday?
June 1st.
Okay. The wall's coming. Right? And then after you're married, you want to have kids not right away, a couple of years, right? 2-3 years?
Yeah, probably.
So now you're going to be 31, 32 years old, 33 years old. Right? So I encourage women to start thinking about planning the 2 to 5 year plan. Write it out on paper. And it doesn't have to be, some women don't want to get married, don't want to have kids, fine. But what's your 2 to 5 year plan? Even regard to your business, right? What you're doing as far as income and revenue. And again, design that with the man in the picture or without, but also what type of man do you want? And know the consequences. Average, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
You might lose respect like you did last time. The boyfriend you moved here with didn't have any income to the point that it was sustainable. You took care of him. You were his sugar mama.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, I think.
And you lost respect.
100%. Yeah. Because, so when you say average, you'd be living
paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah. But I've done that. I've struggled and I've done it and I can adapt. And
okay. Ready?
Okay.
1 kid and you can't adapt. 2 kids, you can't adapt. You see, things have to change. That hindsight, remember they say hindsight's 50-50. You got to look ahead of it and go, wait a minute. If I'm going to bring a child into this world, kids are freaking, let me tell you something. You go online and says, oh, it's only X amount of dollars. No. They don't tell you about all the other bullshit. They go, oh, we need $250 for this. Oh, it's clarinet lessons and the extra van fees and the yearbook fees and the what? What do we have to pay for coloring books? He's a senior. He doesn't color. Right? And then they give you a list of everything you need to buy in elementary. And you're like buying this list of stuff to share with other kids. It's not even theirs. And my point is this. If you have to think where you're at, $50K ain't going to cut it.
Yeah, no.
It's not going to cut it. And you want to, I'm not saying the guy what if the guy doesn't want to move back to Ohio?
Yeah. Well, no. So I would say ideally, like that's where I'm at in my mindset now, where I'm like, okay, my family and I are extremely close. Why am I so far from them? And I think, Ohio doesn't have to be the spot. I mean, I'll adapt anywhere and I'm down to go anywhere except like, I don't know.
LA?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't live in California. I just don't like California in general.
We won't go there. I guess that's a place. But yeah, you want to, let's say they wanted to, I don't know, Dallas.
Okay.
Would you move to Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay. And he'd probably, in 2 kids, Dallas is a pretty inexpensive city compared to most places. But, I'm saying the guy's got to make at least 150, 160 grand. 2 kids, you live comfortably. So to find that person should be a little bit older.
Yeah, most definitely.
How old will you go?
I
won't be offended.
I would say 10 years, 12 years older.
38. So, yeah. So
38,
when
40?
men get to their late 30s, 40s is when they start hitting their peak. They start hitting their prime age is 40 because their income keeps going up. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
So men coming into this world, 18 was zero value. You have immediate value at 18. You had all these guys trying to get with you. Everybody told you could conquer the world. You had all the, you can have anything you want, Harley, anything you want. Guys are like zero. To get to a hero, they get to their 40s. Now they're starting to hit their stride, their maximum revenue. Like your general manager at your dealership. How old is he?
45, 43,
There you go.
something like that.
He didn't do that at 18, and his value for a man is based on success. We're success objects, not sex objects. You're like, oh, that guy's successful. He's stable. He has good money. He never sees his wife, right?
Yeah.
But if you go with a guy at 28 that's in his late 30s to 38, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 40, that's perfect. But I would encourage you to stay away from the younger guys because they're not going to have that foundation yet.
Yeah.
They're still trying to find themselves. And I'm not saying younger guys are bad. If you're watching this, don't come at me because my average age is 24 to 35, my viewers.
But I'd say even people like just my age in general, like a lot of guys still are like, I want to go out, but I want to do this, I want to see that. And I'm like, I need to go to bed. I need a glass of wine, I need to go to bed.
So when you okay, that's a question. When you go out,
I don't.
you don't go out at all.
Not really, no.
Where'd this
I've been
girl come
out
from?
here 3.5 years, and I've gone out maybe a total of 2-3 times.
And these aren't dates. This is just like going out with your girls.
So it's been 3 times. So 2 times with guys from the dealership, like if it's somebody's birthday or something like that.
Right.
And then the other time, it was somebody that I was seeing, and we were there for.
But when you're seeing a guy, you guys go out, right? You go out to eat and stuff.
like go out to eat and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but this was like I think a beach club or something. So.
Oh, like Wet Republic? I went there a couple of times. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
So-
and I think too, like my mindset is I'm a person like I don't have a lot of time, so I'm thinking like, wow, I could have done my errands, I could have done this, or I got to get this done, and I got to do that, and I got to get my nails done. So I like think of all the like I got to cram everything into one day. So if people are like, well, let's spend our Sunday getting shit faced, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. So you're good all around. So I'd give you a 10 out of 10. I mean, you're good quality, high value woman. You got your shit together. You got a great dog. I love dogs. That's a bonus point.
Yeah, she's great.
You have your own place. You're independent. You make good money, but you're not a boss bitch mentality mindset. You don't have that negative aspect towards a masculine man.
No. I'd say I always praise myself for being so independent.
Right.
Because again, like at the end of the day, if I fail,
It's your fault.
yeah, I'm screwed.
So but here's my only concern is, are you willing to give up that independence for a great relationship?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if it's funny because I'm very strict on like my days that I work and then I got to work the next day type of thing.
Yeah.
But if you want to go to dinner and you want to stay up a little bit late or something, sure, I'll adapt for sure.
So you have, so this is the last point. Well, not one of the last points, but you're not meeting anybody because of your lifestyle.
Yeah. It's just hard. Like when am I going to meet somebody, because I go to the gym and I go to work.
And you can't date at the gym, you can't date at work, and you can't date customers. Yeah. So you have
I could, but
no. But you have no social life.
Yeah, not really.
So do guys ever reach out to you on IG?
Oh yeah, I get reached out to quite a bit. I'm just like, I mean, if you can just
crack the code
crazy schedule.
Wait. Let's talk about this. So if a guy messages you on DM and says, "Hey, I've seen your Instagram. I think I kind of know you from the Las Vegas area. Can we go out for coffee?"
Sure.
So how often does this happen? And I'm not talking about guys sending rude pics, okay? Because I know that goes down too. But how often does this happen where a guy asks you out on IG?
Are we gonna count the ones that are in the pending?
Pending? What do you mean
like
pending?
Whenever there's like the requests?
Yeah.
So they're like pending to
I mean, what, you got 2,000 in there waiting?
No, I think that a couple are sitting there just hanging out, just waiting for the opportunity for me to open it. I'm like, no. I would say it just depends.
Wait, why won't you open it?
I don't know. I'm not.
But you just said you're not putting yourself out there. You're not socializing. You have no interaction with people. If a request comes, why wouldn't you? Is there something wrong with the picture? Does the guy got his shirt off? I mean, what's he doing?
So I mean, if I know you or like if I think that you're attractive, sure, I'll entertain.
How many people are on your Instagram?
5,000 or something.
Okay, you're limiting yourself. So you're not going to know the guy. He reaches out to you on Instagram. Again, the question.
Like if I don't think that he's attractive, like if I glance at it and I'm like,
Okay.
Now, if I'm like, okay, like we've been liking each other's pictures and,
But if it's a request, you don't know the guy.
Yeah.
He says, hey, look, is your Instagram private?
No, it's public.
Okay, good. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Women, I get the people that comment on my posts, they're private profiles. Like, why isn't it public? What are you hiding from?
Yeah, there's some that like are sitting in the request. I will say that they're private.
Yeah,
don't. So I can't even look. And then their picture's like,
yeah, it's
something from super far away.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't even want to.
They're hiding.
Yeah.
Married guy. Trying to hit you on the down low.
Maybe.
So there is hope and opportunity.
For sure, yeah.
So now if all these viewers that watch this, you're going to get DMs going to your request. So I'm going to tell you guys.
Make sure you got your picture where I can see it.
So you can see your picture. Make sure you put in the comment or in the DM that Black Ice so she knows where it's from. And let's talk about this distance relationships.
Okay. How distant are we talking?
West Coast.
Okay.
So that person have to fly in to see you because your schedule's tight. Do you always work weekends?
I'm off Sundays, and then Wednesdays, like I said. Sometimes I could take my Monday off and like swap my days.
So here's what we're gonna do. You're off on Sundays, right? So you could potentially go on a date Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring you back to the show in 90 days, see where you've progressed. Literally, I want to see where you progress. I want you to keep track of. If you go on a bunch of dates, you're not being a hoe. You can go on a date. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I want to see what happened in 90 days. Because you have a list that you can do. This is your homework on your day off. Put that list together. And don't be shy about it. Like I'm talking like, man, my list was like colored hair, what type of ethnic background, like, everything, sexual preferences, what she'll do, how she cook, clean, all that stuff, right? I put this list together. And I still have it. I have a copy. I sent it to her. I said, yeah. She's like, well, what do you like? I said, here. Like, we already talked about it, but then I sent her the list.
Would she go through and check it?
She's like, well, I ain't tall enough. I'm too young. I ain't got kids, right? I don't like football. She didn't even watch football. She didn't even know like the rules. Like I could tell her they're gonna hit a home run on 4th down. She'd probably believe me.
Yeah, same. I'd be like, go.
But it wasn't a requirement. It was secondary. It's like, oh, whatever. I'll catch the highlights. Whatever. Go to the sports gaming room at the hotel. So, well, that's good. I mean, we got a lot of stuff out. What kind of questions do you have for me? Like what men, what men look for, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of questions do you have?
I guess, how would you approach somebody like me?
Me?
Yeah.
So I've got this get 10 no's thing. I'm going to start this 10 no challenge with guys because I think a lot of guys, you can be intimidating to a lot of men.
Oh, for sure. I get told that all the time. So
for guys, I'm going to tell them to go out and get 10 no's. You won't get to 10 no's. Ask a girl, I don't care who you are, because sometimes you see these guys with no money with these hot chicks and you're like, dude, this guy looks like a beat with the ugly stick. How did he pull that off? He's got to be rich. No, he ain't got no money. He's just had nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. And then she thought he was cute or had a great personality. That's not the norm. But for me, I would have just came up to you and say, hey, look, well, first of all, I don't date people from the gym because I know what happens. Yeah. So if I really was like, and we talked a couple of times, I really like this girl, I'm switching gyms because I don't want her to say no. I'm like a business guy. I write business plans. I'm a corporate America guy, right? And then I'd say, hey, I'd hit you up on, I'd say, hey, Harley, remember me from the gym? I'm kind of training at this other gym. So you're like, oh, okay. So that right there, you drop your guard and say, look, I know we talked a couple of times. Hey, let's go out and grab lunch sometime. I'd like to take you out.
The only reason that I'm like iffy about the gym is because I go at such random times and it's so hard for me to like run into people. No, I feel like
there's dudes there all the time looking at you.
I mean, at 5:30 in the morning though, because now I've adjusted my training time. Yeah.
Right there, you lost me. You lost me at 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, I lose myself.
Right. No, but you see what I'm saying? So for guys, they just have to come up and ask you. I personally always wanted to do the lunch thing first because before I'm going to drop $200, $300 on dinner, and I like to eat nice, good food. I'm very high maintenance, picky with food.
Yeah, I'm not shy. I'll be like, keep bringing the wine.
Right. So for me, it's like, I and this happened a couple times. You know, I tried the dating app thing, no luck, right? You know, I kept seeing women with cats, and it's like, dude, what's up? Blue hair. I'm in Seattle, right? So that's all you're gonna see. I would say, hey, let's grab lunch. I'm gonna take you to lunch sometime, brunch or whatever. Okay, sure. And we go to lunch, and I sit there and I talk to her. I get to know her. It's like, I'm not feeling this.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really money, but I didn't want to go out at night.
Yeah, exactly.
Spend 2-3 hours to get dressed up. You know, you do hair, nails, whatever. And you go out and the guys ends up being really creepy and you're like, oh God, save me. You go to lunch, it's an hour.
True. Yeah.
And it's in the middle of the day.
You guys
casual.
can drive separate.
Yeah, is her nails done? I mean, I'm really bad. I'm like, your nails are done, right? The first thing I do is look at the woman's nails. And if they look like guy hands, I'm out. You know what? I'm kind of sick. I got a cough. I got to go. And that happened. My buddy's wife had her girlfriends. I was recently divorced at the time. I'd been single for a while. I was like, oh, she's really nice. You got a great personality, right? We know what that means, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, wait a minute. Stop.
What's wrong?
I got to see a picture. I was like, oh, she looks kind of cute. Went there, showed up. Okay, she has some kids. Okay, we can kind of, you know. And I looked at her hands. They look like this. I'm like, fuck. I can't do it. I can't do it. Just something with a hand next to me looks like a man hand. And what am I going to say to her? You know, and then his wife said, well, what's wrong? Well, and I didn't want to tell the wife.
Because, she'll go tell her.
He's shallow.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what if you want a guy that's 6 feet tall? She's like, well, that's different. I said, how's it different? I'm 5'9". That's out of my control.
I feel like it's a better different. Yeah, she can get her nails done.
Exactly.
You can't change
and
her
I didn't want to tell her. Finally, I told her, and it's like, oh, my wife thinks you're shallow now. Sorry. Yeah. I don't want to be laying next to waking up somebody and say, is that a dude? Right? You know what I mean?
See, I think, and maybe it's just the environment that I'm in, but like, you got to be well dressed. You got to keep, your hair cut. And like, I'll make a comment to the guys and I'll be the first person to say it. Like, you need a haircut.
Wow. Because
again, we're in a job where our presentation and like our appearance is super important. Like, the guys will say to me, like, you need to get your nails filled or whatever. You need to get your hair color.
Get your shoes shining. Yeah. Like, dude, those shoes are wrecked.
Yeah. So I'm very quick to say it because I'm around that all the time. That's super normal for me.
Yeah. You got to bring it. So, last couple of questions here because I know we're running. How much time we got? Is that right? No. Okay. I think it's almost 7:30. Is that what we got for time? Let me check it. Because I know we got an hour. So hold on. Okay, we got a couple of minutes. So we talked about the type of guy, right? Look good, dress well, put together, not a bad boy.
Yeah. And you got to be close with your family because my family and I like this.
So they have to be close with their family?
For sure. Or at least get along with mine. Like my ex that I moved out here with, not close with his family and not close with my family. My family could not stand him. I had to like rebuild my whole relationship with my family.
So that's interesting. So let me ask you this. So let's say you get married to a guy and you're with him and your mom and dad don't like him.
That's it.
Okay. So this is the red flag. I found one. Because when I was married, my mom had a problem. Something to be with my wife. I said, listen, I married my wife. My wife comes before you. She's my wife. She comes first. You leave the house, you leave your family to be married with your spouse. And so I had to tell my mom. I told her. I said, look, that's my wife.
And how close are you and your mom?
My other mom were really close, but she understood that. My godmother raised my real mom, no. But I told her, I said, look, you have to understand, and even, I'm not trying to preach you to be Christian or biblical. Even the Bible, it says you put your spouse first for your family. So I'm a firm believer because that's the person you're with. You left your family to be with that person, build a life with. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have the back of your spouse, and it's like, oh, well, if your dad says he doesn't like me, you're going to leave me. There's no stability. But not that, and I'm not saying he did anything wrong. Your dad and mom might not like him. I'm sure he did. Sounds like whatever. But let's say that he was, they didn't approve of his career, and maybe he was a pilot, maybe he did something they didn't like, and he was gone, and they said something at dinner, and he said, well, that's my career, you need to respect it. They didn't like that. Now they don't like the guy. Now you're going to tell me you're going to leave him because they don't like him? You see what I mean? And he's like, well, they don't like my husband, so I got to put my family first.
So I definitely see where you're coming from when it comes to that. But I would say, because my parents are, maybe I just go based off my parents, because my parents are very real.
Right.
So if they don't look at somebody and be like, oh, I didn't like that he said that. Like, you should end it. My mom is like, from the jump, she's like, I get a good feeling. And then she'll go with that.
So she's going with a feeling.
Yeah, but also too, I mean.
Feeling. I feel like he's not a good guy. What?
But she also meets them.
But you know how I got judged when I was, look, let me tell you my background. I was always a one relationship guy, like a woman. I loved relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But a girl say, oh, you look like a player. I feel like you look like, what does that mean? And I wasn't. I didn't have time.
Yeah.
So I get in a relationship, that was it. I wasn't the guy that went and dated a bunch of chicks at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I was always judged as,
confusing.
oh, you look like a player. I feel like you, I know. I'm not, and the girls wouldn't date me.
Because of that feeling.
And they were wrong. So if your mom's wrong, has she always been right?
She's always been right.
Okay, well, then I can't dispute that.
Yeah,
and
she's a different woman, I swear.
so if she sees this podcast, hopefully she's not mad at me.
No,
Mom,
she's so cool.
She's
She's cool.
I don't like that guy.
I didn't like him.
I don't like him. Don't ever talk to him again. Don't go back on his shelf.
No, she knows probably every aspect of my life. But
do you share intimate stuff about you and your partner, your boyfriend with her? Like, we got to fight, Mom. You seriously?
Yeah.
See, I think that's a bad thing.
So I'm not going to sit there and say like, oh my God, he did this to me and he did that. Like, I think because my brothers taught me at a young age, like, don't act on emotion. You need to sit.
Say that again. Say it again.
Don't act on emotion.
Is that hard for you?
Oh, yeah. But I've gotten much better at it to where I sit. That's why if like I get into an argument, I got to sit for a second. Give me a little bit, because otherwise I'm going to say some really rude shit to you and I'm going to regret it.
Truck driver stuff?
So, yeah, maybe.
You got a potty mouth?
Bad.
Oh, my God. So
I got to think of it rationally. And
do you feel that a lot of women act on their emotions?
100%. 100%, yeah. Because that's the first thing.
But they don't want to admit they're wrong. 100%.
Yeah. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I'll be like, you were right. And okay, let's move on, or like, let's fix it and let's talk. My biggest thing is communicating when there's an issue, because it takes me a little bit to kind of get what I need to say. And sometimes I can't word it correctly. So I'm not a good communicator when it comes to it being an issue.
Give me an example. What do you do?
I'll just give it some time. And then if somebody's like, hey, let's talk about what happened, I'm like, okay, well, here's what I think. And then I'll lay it out rationally. I'm not going to go ahead and jump down your throat and be like, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. I'll be like, okay, here's how I feel about it. No, you go ahead and say how you feel about it. Okay. Yeah, you were right about that. I did kind of act incorrectly about that.
So is it hard for you to say you're wrong and apologize?
No.
Wow. Okay.
I would say I'll take
the red flag back.
Well, I'm the first to admit, hey, I think that I'm taking this the wrong way.
But so your brothers taught you not to act on your emotions.
Yeah, my brother Mark.
So how do you regress that when it comes up and you get emotional? What do you do? Do you like take a moment to be alone? Do you walk away? Do you like count to 10?
No, I just got to be alone for a little bit, kind of sort my thoughts, because I feel like if a lot of things come based off of emotion, I'm probably going to ruin exactly what I have.
And have you done that in the past?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and my brother...
You've ruined relationships.
Yeah.
Wow. You home wrecker. Wow.
Home wrecker in my own home.
Did the guy start crying? Was he like, what happened? Just get the F out?
I did actually. So the guy that I moved out here with, shortly after, I rebounded into a relationship and he cheated on me. And I
wait, back up. The guy you rebounded with cheated on you.
Yeah. So I moved out here with somebody, ended very poorly. I rebounded into a relationship, dated somebody, and he cheated on me, this guy that I was seeing. And I said so calmly, no worries. Can you please get your stuff and get out? And he was like, what? He's like, let's talk about it. I'm like,
how did you cheat? Was it physical or was it
physical? Both. Okay, yeah. Okay. All the above. You want to check it all.
Wow.
In my house.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Young guy?
No, he's older than me. Maybe like by 4 or 5 years.
Wait, how old was he when this happened?
He was 31 and I was 26.
Oh, wow.
So what, 5?
Something
years?
like that. Yeah. I can't count. I'm bad with math.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
like counting it backwards.
5 years. 5 years old. Wow. So you learned this trait. So yeah. So it sounds like you've got a good head on your shoulders. I think you'll be fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring you back here in 90 days.
Okay, with the checklist.
You have homework,
Dang.
and I want you to. And you don't have to tell me the guys you went on dates with, but
Okay.
you're gonna get DMs from this podcast, and just be mindful. Like I'm telling you, you put this list together. It's a cheat code. I'm telling you.
See, I never thought of that.
I
And
know,
like,
but nobody did. And I was
yeah.
like, why am I having problems? Well, I knew I was having problems. I'm a guy. But I treated it like a business, even though relationship's not a business, right? I get it. But then I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? I had an old pastor tell me to do this.
Really?
Yeah. I'm the biggest hypocrite in the world as a Christian. Right? I'd say Christian, like non-denominational, right? But I'm not a Bible thumper, right? You know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but he told me, Dad, you need to put this list together. I was like, why? He goes, because clearly you can't manage yourself.
Interesting.
And it saved me a lot of drama because I'd see the red flags. It's like, but guys get so attached because it was so hard when you're younger and you have zero value to meet a girl that's hot and attractive and then be in a relationship because you have no value. Then when I got older and I started making tons of money, millions over the years, it starts coming in. Then it's like, wow, I have value. Not that you want somebody to be with you for money, but then it's like, okay, wait a minute. I have options now. Now I got options, motherfucker. No,
True.
but then I was like, okay. And so I literally had to slow down and say, you know what? I got it out of my system after my divorce. This is stupid being with these girls and I don't really like them. And why did I do that? And then I was like, I need to stop. I need to focus on my business. Here comes Puma, right? Out of nowhere. And I liked her food pic. And then she chased me down. I could say, because she's not here.
Really?
She video called me, was bothering me, right?
Yeah, bothering.
She's like, no, it wasn't.
She's gonna kick your ass.
But
after this.
she was from Tucson and she had like 6 pictures of her Instagram was up for 3 weeks. I don't know how I came across it. And it was a meal prep. I hate cooking. I'm allergic to kitchens. It's against my religion. I'm just gonna say
Most
right
guys
now,
are.
right? And then I was liking her food pics and she liked my pics. We went back and forth.
Yeah.
And then we started flying back and forth. I was like, look, this is gonna work. You got to move to Seattle. I have kids. She moved to Seattle. She gave up her hair career.
Wow.
But it was my responsibility and duty as a man because we weren't married but living together. I treat it like a marriage. It's my responsibility to be a provider and not hold her hostage
Yeah.
and pay all the bills, take care of her. And she takes care of the house, and she has her own hustle. She does her thing, but that was kind of where I was at. But I was fearful because of the age, because I'm older. I'm
Yeah,
OG.
and
I'm old guy. OG.
Usually, not
Original
a lot
gangster.
of younger girls.
Well,
like,
old dudes
have-
like me. I know. Just say it. See? See,
No,
I
my
knew that.
parents
That's
are
your
10
red
years
flag.
apart.
Red flag.
My parents are 10 years apart.
Oh, okay. We'll go with 10 years.
So
that works.
keep
Yeah.
taking these flags and keep throwing them out.
Okay, well, we're going to end it. I appreciate you being on the
Thank you.
podcast. Make sure you go ahead and follow her on her Instagram. Make sure you like this video. If you like it, turn on the notification indicator. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. And guys, don't be shy. Send her a DM. Don't send any crazy pics, okay?
No pictures.
We don't want to see your bald forehead. You know which one I'm talking about. Send her nice stuff and tell her you saw her on this channel. She's open for relationships. She's open for dating. 28 years old, single, fit, attractive, feminine, traditional, fit. She used to compete. Makes great money. Has a big ass dog. You got to pick the dog poop up. That's why I have a little tiny dog. And again, Harley, thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a good night.
You too.